This is the reason why when you go. This is the reason why when you go to church and you're getting gang stalked for you Christians and you Hebrews that seem to have a hard time letting go of your religion. This is the reason why when you go to church you still get gang stalked. Because your pastors and the whole church, the whole religious organizations is all down with the same people that threw you in the gang stalking simulation. Can I get a no there? The same people that control the prison systems, the schools, your supermarkets, the gang stalking proxy, FISA 703, 702, 709, whatever number you want to give them, the CIA, FBI, the Boule, Masons, yeah. It's all connected, player. And that's the reason why when you go to church to seek for refuge, hoping that you can get some help because you're getting stalked and maybe you're getting V2K or electronic harassment, or maybe you're not getting that. Maybe you're just getting harassed and synchronizations and red cars and red people and dressed in red and dogs and all that crazy stuff. Blackballed and harassed on your job mobbing and all that crazy stuff that comes with it. Maybe you're getting all that. Because I know a lot of y'all, like I said, a lot of y'all on my channel may not be getting the directed energy. But there are people out there that's getting it. There are people that's out there that's getting V2K. But my point is, what I'm saying is, when you go to church, you go to your pastor. You don't believe me? You ain't got to believe me. Go to your pastor. Go to church Sunday, this Sunday coming up. Whatever Sunday you can make it. Go to your pastor and tell your pastor you being gang stalked. And let's see what's happening. Let's see what's going to happen right after that. I guarantee you, he going to snitch on you, and you probably be in some mental, mental asylum. So let me go ahead and let this play.
Any day now, these are the ones that's going to tell you to get the draconian juice. These are the ones that's going to tell you to conform to the system. These are the ones that's going to make you vote. These are the ones that's going to tell you about to get reparations instead of fighting for the land, right? So that's how you know who's who and what's what. You got people who propagating the system, and then you got the ones who are really fighting for the people. Those are the ones that are basically fighting for the land, right? Because we know the inception of our true history. These people go along to get along, right? Because they were basically socially and psychologically indoctrinated by way of the historical black colleges that was being facilitated and orchestrated by the Rothschilds. They are the ones who control historical black colleges, right? Now, when you look at this right here, it says, we are the king that black secret society served. We control everything, including your pastors, right?
So you need to take that into consideration. These Jesuits, Mason Illuminati people, reptilian people, drink blood people, steal your baby people, mind control the people, mind manipulation, archon people. These are the people that control your pastors. These are the people that control, well, if you're a Muslim, they control, you know, the what they call it, the Iman or whatever, the Iman, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whoever, you know, that preaches at the mosque, whatever, they control them too. Whatever religion, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, you know what I'm saying? Years ago, man, a lot of people used to come at me. I used to when I used to deliver pizza in this other neighborhood, I was delivering pizza. This this black lady, I used to get a lot of people, a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses used to come at me. But they was bots. They was gangstalkers.
That's why it's imperative to get our religion. So you got people, right? That's why it's imperative to get our religion.
And see, some of y'all be thinking that, oh man, D, you should be bashing my religion. I'm basically trying to save your life. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out of that crap. You're not going to set yourself free until you come out of that. It's all wicked. It's all sinister.
So you got people like T.D. Jakes, who was the power bottom. going to these P. Diddy parties, right?
P. Diddy parties.
You see them with P. Diddy, rubbing shoulders. Because if you really...
See, everybody talking about him and Meek Mills. You know, the pastor, T.D. Jakes, was laying some hands on P. Diddy. Hallelujah. Yeah, oh yeah, they was laying some hands now. Or they was laying a lot of hands. You know what I'm saying? A lot of greasy, nasty hands.
You know, was a hardcore Christian, you will basically detach yourself from the ideologies of the entertainment industry because you know what comes with it. Because everything that's acclimated to the entertainment industry is all Babylonian worship, right? Because we acclimated to the entertainment industry is all Babylonian worship, right? Because we know the demographic of people who control all those industries, right? So now, that's why it's imperative.
And with that being said, when he's saying that it's all Babylonian worship and stuff like that, see, and then y'all people be like, oh man, well I don't do that. I don't do that because that's witchcraft and stuff. But then you turn the radio on. I'm trying to tell you, a lot of y'all people that be on my channel, man, y'all are so ignorant, man, that it don't make no sense, man. You know what I'm saying? You will sit here and be talking bad about witchcraft and stuff like that. I don't do this. That's witchcraft. That's demonic. But you will turn the radio on when ain't nothing but witchcraft. You'll turn your TV on, your television, to program your subconscious mind, and they doing witchcraft all day with that television to program your mind. They got frequencies coming through that radio station all day playing that hip slop, because it's not hip hop. It's hip slop. You know what I'm saying? If people dropping music that's not uplifting the people, it is hip slop. Hip hop was created to bring the message to the people. That's the whole origin of hip hop. If it didn't have no message delivered, then it was just hip slop. All that gang banging NWA stuff, that stuff came with the PSYOP. The CIA orchestrated that. Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, and all that stuff. That all came with the CIA. Those were informants, and then it just basically went from there on, and then everybody started doing it. Because the beast glamorized thug life. You know what I'm saying? Then we come up with these movies, Poetic Justice and Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and Juice and all these movies that we grew up watching. If you was, coming up in that time, like myself, I was coming, I came up in that time. And even though it was some messages in the movie, but they still glamorized the movie, and the message went over the masses' heads. You see what I'm saying? It went over their heads. You know how many more shootouts we had back in the 90s when Boys in the Hood came out? They didn't give a damn about no Ricky. People came out the movie theater crying. Ricky got shot. And soon the movie was over, people crying and everything. Before you know, they shooting in the parking lot. I mean, you could look it up. This was real back in the day. Like it was like people. The energies were so crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The energies were so crazy back then. Like people was not. When Jews popped off. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a whole bunch of bishops running around here acting a fool. Even though it's movies, even though it was messages in those movies, but people wasn't getting the message. They got caught up in the psyop of it. The psyop was in the glamour and the glorifying the thug life, which is not what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to bash on thug life. You ain't supposed to glorify that. Thug life is the reason why we got so many penitentiaries here in America. Thug life is the reason why so many black people right now locked up. So many black thug life is the reason why so many Negroes is right now is in the grave right now. Looking just like this. Skull and bones. Thug life. Thug life took so many people out of this world. Thug life.
Understand that the great majority of these pastors, they get a 501c3 skull and bones contract, right? Which is a contract with the dark priesthood of the Vatican Church. So it's not a coincidence that when you see nonprofit organizations, like a so-called black person getting a nonprofit organization, they getting NAACP awards, They getting, all this funding from the government. They took a 501c3. So they're basically a part of the fraternal order of the Skull and Bone Society, right? And we're going to be bringing up this fraternal order that started out of Yale as we get through the presentation. So every industry is a part of this, right? You got basketball players, you got the so-called LeBron James, who was also a gatekeeper. And in my opinion, I think he's also esoterically responsible for the death of Kobe by way of the numerical components of gematria. Because when you understand...
Now with the Kobe thing, I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe that Kobe is even dead, because I seen it in the cartoon. The airplane crash and the rings fell on the ground. It was 4 rings or something like that. I seen it in the cartoon. So to me, it was just predictive programming. I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe in Nipsey Hussle being dead. I don't believe in none of that, dog.
Gematria, it lines up with LeBron James sacrificing Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant, he was suing a certain industry, right? And he was basically going against the grain. So this is why you have gatekeepers who pretend to be your friend, and they're going to sacrifice you to the system if you get way too high, if you're basically going to destabilize the whole infrastructure.
I definitely don't agree with that. Kobe Bryant going against the grain, man. Them cats got too much money to go against the grain. If what would happen if they go against the grain? They would get gangstalked and killed for real. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, it was all predictive programming anyway, because I seen it in the car. I'm pretty sure you seen it too. The cartoon. The airplane crash. Kobe Bryant was dead. Come on, man. It was already, it was already predictive programming. So I don't believe it. I believe he faked his death. I believe it's all orchestrated. He probably somewhere chilling right now watching the game. He probably somewhere chilling right now watching Devin Haney get his ass whipped by Ryan Garcia.
Structure that controls them. So that's why you see LeBron James with the bootleg tattoo on his chest, right? This is all connected to Freemasonry. Not a coincidence, right? Because he has to show his veneration and credence to the system in order for him to reap the benefits of the wealth. So this is why, they're going to, everything is premeditated all throughout these industries. This is why they shave points. Just like Michael Jordan, when he was shaving points and he didn't follow suit, and they ended up killing his dad, right? Just like with Magic Johnson, when he didn't follow suit, they made him he didn't follow. It's like Michael Jordan, when he was shaving points and he didn't follow suit, and they ended up killing his dad, right? Just like with Magic Johnson, when he didn't follow suit, they made him discard himself from the NBA and said that he now has AIDS, right?
And speaking of that right there, speaking of that right there, because I wanted to say something about that the other day, man. I wanted to talk about this so-called AIDS epidemic that happened, in the 90s. Now, a lot of y'all young, y'all might not remember. But comment down below and let me know if you remember the AIDS epidemic. Now, what the fuck happened to AIDS? Where is it? Because you don't hear about it no more. They don't talk about it. It's not on the news. You know what I'm saying? And within that Magic Johnson era, AIDS was a big thing. HIV, AIDS. You couldn't turn on the TV without hearing about it. They had everybody scared. Everybody was buying condoms. This was just a money-making scheme as always. Selling, just making money off these rubber bands to put on your manhood. You know what I'm saying? Putting a rubber raincoat on your manhood. You know what I'm saying? It was just all a psyop, just to make money, just to put you in fear. And then at the same time, a lot of people that thought that they had it, people was going to get tested. I ain't gonna lie. I was young back in the day. I did get some tests too. I regret those days, because you give up the blood. Now since I'm woke, I would never do nothing like that, because you give up the blood. And when you give them blood, man, ain't no telling what they doing with your blood, player. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody that's donating blood or plasma and all that stuff, man, stop that crap. Don't donate nothing to these vampires. So, back when I was young, I ain't know no better. You know what I'm saying? You out there running around. Oh, man, you might think I ran up in something wrong. You thinking, you got the fear. They done programmed you. You got the fear in your head. Ain't nothing wrong with you, and they got you thinking there's something wrong with you. And then especially when they was getting people that on the medication. You know what I'm saying? Once they get you on the medication, that's when you really get sick. And now you're creating it with the law of attraction because now your mind thinking that you got it, and then you popping those pills, those drugs, and now you're all jacked up.
Premeditated.
So what happened? What happened to AIDS? The AIDS epidemic just died. The COVID 25 took over. That's it. The COVID 25 died too.
If you go against, if you don't go along with the system, they gonna basically subjugate you through a humiliation process.
Right.
Right. So every basketball player is a part of this.
See this right here. You know what I'm saying? This is Shaquille Shaquille, y'all should know. See, Shaquille, he admitted it that he was in the fraternities and stuff. He was doing a dance and everything. Those military soldier dance that they do in school and college. He got the ring. So like I said before, I was like, when y'all be seeing people, every gangstalker out here ain't down with a Mason now. Every gangstalker, you gotta be initiated. This is a brotherhood thing. Every gangstalker that you see outside that's gangstalking you and walking, following you around, they're not initiated. They just might be just a gangstalker affiliated with the proxy stalking, but that don't mean that they're a Mason. That don't mean that they have been initiated in the brotherhood. Or if you see a female, Eastern Star or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember somebody was saying that about the girls, the white girls that was working at my pizza shop. They was like, yo, they Eastern Stars. I was like, man, they ain't no Eastern Star. Them girls dumb as hell. And then I even asked the girl back in the day. I was like, yo, are you an Eastern Star? She was like, I don't even know what that is. And I knew she didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? I knew she didn't know what no Eastern Star was. You know what I'm saying? So, some of y'all might say, well, she lied to you. Now, she ain't lied to me. They was dumb. Because some of these Eastern Stars, I met Eastern Stars. I dated Eastern Stars. And they got a little bit of sense. They pack a little bit of knowledge. They do. You know what I'm saying? They do a little bit of reading. Even them white girls that was at the pizza shop, man, they wasn't doing no damn reading.
Shaquille O'Neal with the Freemasonic.
Besides reading my thoughts.
Garments on, right? With the apron.
Uh-oh.
All this stuff. You got Jay-Z. We're gonna get it to him later.
And see, look, right here. Now look, this is probably the real Jay-Z. That dude with the dreads, man, that's a clone, dog. I don't believe it at all. I never did. That Jay-Z dude that they got with them long nappy looking dreads, man, that ain't no damn Jay-Z. That's Phase-Z. You know what I'm saying? That's who that is. They ain't the Jay. They ain't the original Jigga.
All this stuff. You got Jay-Z. We're gonna get it to him later. You got Kevin Hart, who's a gatekeeper of the comedy industry, right? Which is why you had Cat Williams. He was spilling a lot of beans about everything. This is why a lot of people don't respect within people like Dave Chappelle, people like Cat Williams. They don't respect people like him because these are the people who basically sold out in order to facilitate a certain status within the industry. He the one who signed the You got Barack Obama. You already know about him. He the one who signed the NDAA bill. And then you got Kamala Harris.
And not just that, but he also signed that FISA, that community-based stalking crap.
Who signed the NDAA bill?
Brain Initiative.
And then you got Kamala Harris. And then you got this bozo, Diddy, the Diddler, right? And like I said, that's why it's imperative to understand that, as I was telling you before, they're going to use these people.
I don't know if y'all seen the South Park, man. If y'all get a chance, look up South Park Vote or Die with Puffy. I ain't going to play the clip. If you want to see it, go look it up yourself. I'm giving you, I'm giving you instructions on what to do. But that crap, if you want to get a good laugh, man, that shit is funny.
To basically propagate voting. Because when you vote, that acclimates you to fraud, because when you participate in fraud, you can't claim injury to the system, right? Because now you're stuck under the 14th Amendment to where you're not able to get restitution, because now you're basically fighting for reparations and things of that nature.
We ain't gonna get no reparations.
So everything a part of the political industry, the movie industry, is all based on a form of technology, right? Because they are being controlled by the deep state, right? So when you understand the whole infrastructure of the deep state, this is how they facilitate their social power and their social economic wealth. They have underground tunnels, and the underground tunnels is being used for trafficking purposes, right? Because in order to have this status, in order to have this money, to get that bag, in order to have these riches, you have to sacrifice something, right?
And if for those that are having a hard time understanding that, what is it, Matthew chapter 2 or chapter 4, I believe, when Satan took Jesus up to the mountains and showed him all the kingdoms and said, I'll give you all this shit if you bow down. It's the same shit, y'all. It's the same thing. You gotta, what should a profit of man to gain the world, lose their soul? It's the same thing, people. Okay? See, one thing about me, man, DB gonna make the Bible make sense. I'm gonna make it make sense. I can break it down in this day of time. Okay?
And we're gonna get into that when it comes to the rituals. But I don't want to get too far into the presentation because I know it's connected to a lot of videos that I'm going to be showing you.
The Boule.
So we're gonna go back to Steve
Man, look,
Copley.
man, I was doing research on Boule, man, back in 2007, 2009, 2000. When I started in like 2007 on Boule, Illuminati, all that, man. All the,
Thank you, sir.
all the gay rituals, the homosexuality that's going on. It's amazing, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's amazing how people just now, it's 2024 and people just now waking up to the gays that's in the Hollywood. It's crazy, man. Man, motherfuckers is late like a mug, man.
And so, this is the first of the Greek thing. This is the granddaddy of the Greek thing. Here it is that we see that they placed how much on the organizational plan, reliance was placed on Greek history. So when you confront them, they're going to swear it ain't a Greek thing. And you're going to tell them, say, well, I seen your thing, and I know your thing is Greek from the jump. And no subordinate boule can ever deviate from the structure and the guidelines laid down by people in the organization higher than them. Never does a private disrupt the sergeant, who does not fuck with the lieutenant, who does not contradict the general, who does not talk back to the major, and tell the general you are, don't talk against the president. So when you're in the hierarchy, you are controlled from the top down. The bottom could be honest people, but they must.
Like they said, the bottom can be honest people. Like you got people a part of the Divine Nine, a part of these fraternal orders, these sororities or whatever. They may not know what's going on, but they got to follow a certain hierarchy because the people are part of those fraternal orders, the people are part of those sororities. They got to follow the chain of command by following the Boule members. And the Boule members are being controlled by the deep state.
Right.
The deep state are being controlled by the by following the part of those because the people are part of those fraternal orders, the people are part of those sororities. They got to follow the chain of command by following the Boule members. And the Boule members are being controlled by the deep state. The deep state are being controlled by the archonic forces who control the simulation, right? We're gonna get into that later.
So that's why I've been trying to tell people. People like, keep talking about Esau, the white man. I'm like, look, man, Esau is a pawn in this game. You think Esau is really, really controlling the world? Nah, it might look like that, but it's not true. The Esau is bowing down to these archons, these reptilian monsters that's controlling them. You know what I'm saying? So, this is bigger than the white man. This is bigger than Esau, the Neanderthal motherfucker that came from out the caves and people like to talk about. This is bigger than them. They puppets too. Got fight like 4 more minutes.
So when you're in the hierarchy, you are controlled from the top down. The bottom could be honest people, but they must do what the top tell them. That's the deal.
That's the deal, y'all.
In the army, you know it's someone over you. Even if you Colin Powell. Hold
Even if you colon pie.
So now that's connected to this video. Like I said, a lot of people, they may not understand, you know, that they're part of these fraternal orders and things of that nature, but they're being controlled by the boule.
I mean, I feel as though everybody should know this by now,
Like
man.
I said, you got genuine people who are trying to understand the truth. You know, a lot of you who watch my channel are probably a part of, you know, fraternities and sororities because you wanted to be a part of something when you was in college. That doesn't mean that you're basically a Illuminati member. You were just joining something, you know, you were just trying to get a genuine connection and be a part of something.
Right.
Like, I understand that. But that doesn't negate the fact that as you climb up into the ranks of your the working force and things of that nature, and when you get into these industries, you're being controlled by boule members, right? People who are basically a part of the Freemasonic order. And the Freemasonic order is being controlled by the deep state. And the deep state are the ones who control everything, who are being controlled by archonic forces behind the scene. And we're going to get into that, but I'm going to show you a video that was connected. I don't know what happened there. It kind of froze up a little bit. But now this is connected to this video.
Want to know? I took my...
It's everywhere. But what I see is I see somebody who's doing something that's been doing it for over 30 years. And all of a sudden now, this is what I know.
He is basically referring to P. Diddy. P. Diddy's situation. That is basically what he's speaking on. For those who don't understand what's going on.
Don't swim in that pond. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But what I see is I see somebody who's doing something that's been doing it for over 30 years. And all of a sudden now,
right.
This is what I know. Okay? I only speak on what I know. I don't like that term gatekeepers. I like overseers. Overseers on the plantation had a certain amount of power that they could wield that the master, the owner of the plantation, gave them. And many of the slaves purportedly feared the overseers more than they did master, because they wanted to maintain and keep their status. Listen to what I'm saying and look at what's happening. They wanted to keep and maintain their status. And as long as the slaves were making that money, when they weighed that cotton and whatever crop they had, the overseer's position was solid. So he cracked the whip to make sure that them slaves busted their butt.
You're choosing not to say the person's name, right?
I don't want to. You can say whatever name you want.
Because I just want to make sure the viewers, at least I'm understanding that you're talking about Diddy, and you're talking about what went down. I think like relatively, maybe about a month ago, his house got raided, and that would open up a can of worms. You're seeing different headlines come out. You're hearing about freak-off parties, which I want to ask you about. Were those things existing in your time?
Remember KRS-One? Overseer, over the officer. The word officer came from overseer. Back in the day, they called them overseers instead of officers to keep the slaves in check on the plantation. Back in the day, back in the roots days, you know what I'm saying? And then in this daytime, we got the officers. What is the job for the officers? To keep the slaves in check. On what? On the plantation. What is the plantation? America, Babylon, this planet. This is a prison planet, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's a plantation. So with that being said, I'm going to end it.
Coming up. But I mean, just seeing that,
I say one thing about that last part that you asked me. Fatty Arbuckle. That name ring a bell?
No.
Open up your eye while you're checking out the boom box. Check the exercise. Take the word overseer like a sample. Repeat it very quickly and approve for example. Overseer. Officer. Yeah, officer from overseer. You need a little clarity? Check the similarity. The overseer rode around the plantation. The officer is walk around with a bigger one. I hear it all day, just so they can run the light and be upon their way.
With that being said, y'all, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Holla back, DB Gangstalker Simulation, baby. The best channel on YouTube. That's the sound of the beast.